Good morning and welcome to the Celebrate podcast. I'm Lisa McGarry, co-founder of Celebrate Primary Care.
And I'm Della Tootin.
The other founder.
Oh yeah, that's what I am. The other owner, yes, and founder.
We're live on YouTube and Facebook every Tuesday at 11. We're happy you're with us. We want to always thank Fiesta Media for producing our podcast. Elio's amazing and we appreciate it. Today we're super happy to have with us Leah White. She is one of the nurse practitioners that works at our clinic, and we are going to spotlight them. If we can get them in here, we're going to spotlight them and have them come in and talk about who they are and introduce them to our awesome Celebrate podcast community. So without further ado, Leah.
Hello.
Poor Leah got drug in here today.
Yeah. I know.
I'm the first, so if I'm not so great, it's because I had to go first.
So we love Leah. Leah's been with us for how long?
January was 2 years.
Awesome.
Yay.
And we love Leah because she's amazing. She's an amazing provider, but she's also bilingual, which is fantastic. So tell us a little bit about your life as an ACR, for the people who don't know what that is, and just kind of like your kind of growing up and coming through and joining our
Just tell us all
team.
about you.
All about me.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Gainesville. I went to Littlewood and then Lincoln, and I went to Eastside. I was in the IB program, and then moved up to University of Florida. I studied there for health education, and then I was a health educator in the community. I did sex education, which is like a interesting fact. I don't know if everyone knows that about me, but it was.
I did not. That's awesome.
It was good because I think that what that helped me with is being comfortable around patients. You know, I can talk about pretty much anything. If you can be in a room full of teenagers and you put a condom on a banana, you can talk to a patient about anything. So that was that. I did HIV and STD education for the health department. And then from there, I went on to nursing school. I became a nurse. I worked at Shands for 7 years in critical care. I worked in the recovery room in PACU. And then partway through, when I was working in critical care, I had my first child. And I was like, I'll just continue with this. I'll be a nurse. You know, it'll be great. It's a good schedule. And I had a couple of colleagues who were in nurse practitioner school, and they're like, you can do it. I'm like, I just came back from maternity leave. I'm not going to nurse practitioner school. And then they're like, do it, join the club, it's great.
So what the cool kids are doing, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I decided to, continue my education. I really wanted to, utilize my abilities to educate people and, have that just a different dynamic of being a provider. So I went back and I went to NP school, became a family nurse practitioner. And then I met you guys, which was like the perfect opportunity. I feel like everything really lined up when it came to getting this opportunity because it was a perfect balance. You know, I'm having the time with my patients. I'm not having to rush through and feel like, oh, there's one more thing, but you're going to have to come back. You know, I can actually talk to them about wellness and health and mental health and a lot of the things that I really feel strongly about. So I've been here for, since I became an NP, and it's been an awesome opportunity.
Yeah. We're happy to have you.
Yeah.
For sure.
So tell us about, you played volleyball and you were pretty competitive and
volleyball and soccer. Yeah, I played travel volleyball and then switched to travel soccer, and was I decided I wanted to go to UF because I didn't want to get hurt again. You know, I tore my ACL playing travel soccer, and I'm like, okay, I had surgery. I got back to playing. I'm not going to travel. I'm not going to go anywhere for college and play. So then my junior year at UF, I tore my other ACL playing intramural volleyball. So it was like meant to happen.
But those experiences have definitely made you, empathetic with
Absolutely.
patients.
Yeah, when it comes to sports injuries or any sort of injuries, like the value of physical therapy and like putting in the time and all of that, I think that's been helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think that, a lot of people don't know the value of like a direct primary care and what it means. We talk about it all the time about, in a traditional practice, what a factory it can be. Mm-hmm. And so, you've always, I think on a daily basis, tell us, man, I'm so thankful to be able to do this because you get to deliver the kind of care that you want and connect with patients. And, they appreciate that as well, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that connection is a huge, part of it. It's just the ability to dig a little bit deeper, because in traditional, typical primary care, I think it's, okay, you've got your one problem, maybe two, if we can really talk fast, instead of, tell me more about your sleep. Are you sleeping well? Tell me, what's causing this stress? What's causing this strife? What steps are you willing to take towards your health? Do you want a pill, or do you want to do X, Y, and Z so that you can get kind of healthier instead of,
because it's prevention focused, right?
Absolutely.
It's like, let's get to the root of the problem.
Right. And health education, like that was the big thing, is prevention. And so I think that having that background made me appreciate it even more. So now that I can actually do it, it's really cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
So what is your maybe favorite area of medicine? I mean, we do everything, right? I mean, we do. So I know that's a hard question. Yeah.
Well, I think so. When I chose what the nurse practitioner school I wanted to go to, I went to Frontier, which is a traditional midwife school, because I thought it'd be really good to get that women's health focus, and I thought it would be really neat to at least be around the kind of environment where it's a big focus. So I think women's health would probably be one of my favorite parts, just because so often I think women just tough through. You have a baby and they ask you how you're doing. Everything's great. Babies are wonderful. Everything's fine. You're not telling people, well, I haven't slept and I'm going crazy. I don't, and I think
my parts are falling out.
Yeah. My parts are not falling out.
Mine aren't either, but hey.
No, mine either. Just put that out there.
Yes.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't with you.
So just like being able to talk, and we talk to women about, the change and those things where their grandmother, their mother was not going to talk to them about this. And they finally have someone who's like asking, so, are you sleeping? How are you feeling? Are you having hot flash? These things where we can really talk about even some prevention strategies and wellness and different things for those areas. But I'm not excluding my male patients. I love them too, and the things that they bring to the table.
Yeah. Well, and
a lot of things.
I think that they appreciate the care because it is, on their terms, and it's not a scary office where they're sitting in a lobby for, even 10 minutes. So they like that, like efficiency, I think.
Yeah.
I like that too. That's like part of my being, is getting things done and
checking boxes.
Yes.
And I want to be finished.
Yeah. And I think, making sure that people aren't waiting and things are proactive. One thing I've really found that's awesome about our practice in y'all's business is that, it's not just, okay, this is how we do things at Celebrate. It's more so, tell me what we can do to make it better. And I've seen that from my own personal experience. I've seen it from office staff. I mean, it's a place where, hey, I think that this would work better if. Okay, well, show me, and we'll make those changes. And I think that doesn't come with every job.
Yeah.
And
well,
so
you and I talk about that a lot too, just because we do have an amazing team, and the people that have come together, all of us together.
It's
there's
a great
nothing
synergy.
like it. Yeah, there's nothing like it.
Right.
And we do have the right people on our team. We haven't always had the right people on our team, but we definitely do. And it's just magical.
Well, and it builds a level of trust, right? So if there's a day you're not in clinic for whatever reason, I can see your patient, and we try to practice similarly, and we all have great hearts. And so when someone comes in, I think and when you see my patients, the same thing. Like, I don't have any concerns. I know you have a great heart, and you're going to do the best you can do and take great care of them. And everybody on our team is like that. Like, everybody's rowing in the same direction. And we appreciate you being a part of that. Like, you've been with us as a nurse practitioner kind of the longest with the other ones we have. And so it's been great for sure. And we do appreciate you a lot.
And I think that collaborative aspect, I've got, I always joke that Lisa and Della are my skin people. If there's something on skin that I'm not really sure, and I'm not, then I'll grab them and bring them in. And then I've got, Jen for things, and Hector for things, and Dr. Michelle and we just all have our little niches that we feel a little bit more comfortable about.
Yes.
Or more experience or whatever. Or Lisa
do you like
and her toes.
Yeah, like that's her. Oh, no thanks. I do not do
I just
toenails.
love procedures, okay? You guys know this. Like, if
I
there's
like
something to
procedures,
cut off.
I just don't want toenails.
And you don't like knees either, I know. But I will do all the toenails in the office, so that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like,
We do have a toenail on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
like fascinating,
Yeah.
I couldn't
actually.
finish it.
It has like, I mean,
so
like,
gross.
I don't know how
Finished.
many views it has.
32,000, I think.
At
is what she
least.
said.
At
yeah,
least.
that's awesome. Yeah, so
It's disgusting.
it's gross.
Yeah.
But that is like a cool element, when we're there together, obviously we're all kind of moving and shaking and telemedicine and everything else. But when we have someone, I'm like, hey, come look at this. This looks a little off. And it's nice to have that collaborative element. And my patients do feel comfortable, whoever they're seeing, because they know that we all are like-minded, kind of kind.
And we,
Individuals.
as you know, we get together, we have meetings with all of the providers to say, like, hey, here are the standards of care. Let's make sure that we're kind of doing the things similarly so people have a similar experience because, that's important as well. And we want people to feel well taken care of, which I think they do.
Yeah,
I think we do that for sure.
Because those guidelines change, and sometimes you have to really be proactive. And so since we're all seeking out different things at different times, we're like, hey, by the way,
Yeah.
here's this new update. Okay, great. I'm going to integrate that into my care, and then we're good to go. So I
Yeah.
like that element too.
That's good.
So, in addition, a lot of people are being vaccinated and, we were all vaccinated. Can you tell-
Together like a family.
Yes. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience? I know the first one, you didn't feel great.
So I didn't feel great for the first one, and then I felt fine for the second.
Right.
I think the reason why I didn't feel great for the first one is I think I did end up having COVID in probably June or July. I didn't ever test positive. I tested and it didn't ever show up, but then I had antibodies a few months later, and so I think that was why. So a lot of what the early on research is showing is that if you've had it, your body responds the first time like, hey, I know this, let's
I can do
react.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if not, then it's the second booster shot that people are tending to, if having any symptoms. And it's varies
And you
so
didn't
much.
and you didn't test positive and you really didn't have symptoms. Not
Right.
really. And so
just like my normal, I've got kids in daycare and I get colds from them kind of symptoms.
Because they're always snotty and bringing things
Yes.
home. Yes.
yeah. It is interesting, but hopefully we're moving towards the tail end, I hope, of all of this.
I saw something yesterday that I think over 50% of American adults have been vaccinated.
That's amazing.
At least
isn't it?
one. I know. I think it's great too.
Yeah.
So
I think everybody's ready to get back to some kind of normalcy and
Yeah.
life and travel and all the things we all like to do,
I hope too that we learn that the pause can be beneficial. And I
Right.
hope that it slows some of the things down. I think we've learned some things from, especially back in March a year ago, just the fact that spending this
It was like,
time
stop.
at home with family and that, hey, that's not the worst.
No.
Yeah. So that pause, hopefully we'll lean into that more than the go that was before.
yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel good. It's not good for our health.
Right.
Mm-mm.
So, in our practice, as you know, we try to be involved in the community, and I know that's important to you. We've participated in a number of, charitable events and different organizations, but we have one coming up with Pace Center for Girls,
Yep.
the golf tournament. We're really excited,
Yeah.
and Leah's going to play with us.
Yay.
Lisa's probably going to drive the golf cart.
Yes, that is my job, and I am so freaking good at it, you guys.
Maybe some putting.
Yeah.
I'll putt for entertainment for
Yeah.
everyone. That's
Yeah.
what I do.
We
but
do good with that,
we do.
But we all have TJ. And
Yeah, TJ's serious and good.
And he can crush it and do the
That's
long
her
drive.
husband.
Yes. So TJ can help us out. But we have a good time.
Oh, it's
doing
so
it.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we're
just
looking
being
forward
out
to
and
that.
about. Yeah, love
That's
it.
coming up. Pace Center for Girls is on the 28th?
30th.
30th, sorry.
Yeah.
It's our anniversary.
Oh, yay.
10-year anniversary. My husband and I met at UF. We've got 2 small kids. My daughter is 2.5, son is 6. So we are in the thick of it when it comes to parenting
All the
and
things.
all of that. But
Yeah.
No sleep and
Yeah.
daycare and all of it. So.
Comment. Hi.
Oh, how are you? Thanks for
See you.
watching.
Yay.
We
Yay.
appreciate it. So,
All right. So what else you got going on?
yeah, what do you do for fun? You're a big tailgater, right? You like to be out. You and TJ are, everybody. So I have to tell a funny story just real quick. It's a fair one. Come on. So I don't know how long. I guess Leah had just really started working with us, and
Okay.
I didn't know TJ, and we were tailgating for Garth Brooks, which was an amazing concert. Had so much fun, and tailgating with friends of ours, Della and I, and Leah comes up with TJ, and I don't know probably 3/4 of the people in the tailgate, so, and I feel like I know a lot of people. Well, TJ and Leah literally knew every person there, and my son, it's now his wife, but my son's girlfriend at the time, she was like, oh yeah, I know you. It was just so funny. I'm like, okay, so these are true ACRs, and I'm living that life. And it was so much fun, though, because you guys are both extroverted and social and have a good time. And, that's awesome.
I've had that happen with patients where I walk in, I'm like, are you sure you're okay? I've known you since middle school. Like, yeah, you know all the things about me. It'll be perfect. I don't have to tell you any stories, But we do, because we're both very social, and we both really thrive in that, like, extroverted
being out
scenario.
And the last year has almost crushed your soul.
Yes, it's been a challenge.
Me too.
We have found a lot of outdoor activities that we feel comfortable doing, and that's gotten better.
And you can engage people to come because it's outdoors.
Yeah.
Yes.
As far as what we like to do, so we're big into sports and gator sports. That's part of, why we decided to move back. We lived in St. Augustine and then Daytona. And we thought, raising babies in a smaller town, we'd rather have it be Gainesville where there's a lot of activities at least. And so this season we got baseball tickets, which have been really fun. It wasn't what we expected because they did a third of a season instead of the entire season, but it's been really good. We've taken my son and my nephew. My nephew's caught a bunch of foul balls. He's like so excited.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so it's been really fun to get outside and have this like new, amazing baseball stadium and just very like family oriented, outdoor fun. And the weather's been perfect. I'm like not looking forward to it getting hotter.
Yeah, it has been so nice for sure.
You're right. It's true.
It's been
really
coming.
Nice.
It's going to be so hot.
Yeah. We complain about the rain and the weird chilliness, but then we'll
be complaining about the heat too. We're just never happy. That's just how it is, and we know.
Yeah,
humans are interesting. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
your mom's here, and so that's nice, right? Having that family support, and your sister, your older sister, and then your other sister is in Costa Rica.
Yep. And then my brother lives in West Palm.
Yeah. So I want to ask you about, you are bilingual, which is really important to many people in our community. And we, that was very attractive about you when we met you because, it's such a need.
Yes,
absolutely.
So tell us about your background and history and learning.
Yeah, how do you speak Spanish?
Why do I speak Spanish? That's a good question.
It's always nice. You're like 6'2", blonde hair, like
from
walking
Gainesville.
in from Gainesville, and you speak Spanish.
So my aunt was involved in the Sister Cities program between Bahia Blanca, Argentina, and Jacksonville. And so for as long as I can remember, we had people from Argentina visiting and around and exchange students and a lot of really close family friends. So when I had the opportunity to start learning Spanish, I think I was like in 8th grade. And I learned it and I loved it and I caught on. And then I had the opportunity to go to Argentina with her. And so I'm like, I'm already learning some Spanish, practicing, meeting kids my age. And so from there I was hooked. So I took it all 4 years of high school. I took a couple classes in college. And then I've made a point to when we travel, I was joking with Elio. I was like, yeah, when I travel, I like to go places where I understand the language. So like if they speak Spanish, which there's a lot of countries that do, that's where I would like to go. Cause then it's not so much of a challenge to do that. So, and then having this job, it's been really cool cause it's just grown. I don't by any means consider myself maybe even fluent because I stumble and I'm not medical, but I think just the opportunity to give patients a space and to like try more than someone who doesn't speak the language. I mean, that's my goal. And it's made people so much more comfortable. Have patients where they're like, wait, what? And then they just seem to like let this guard down and they feel this sense of relief that at least if we're playing charades and playing for words and some English, some Spanish, some Spanglish in between, we still are able to communicate and get their point across. And I think that it comes from a place of love on my side to say like, let me bring this skill to the table if I can help with your care.
No, it's awesome. And Hector, Hector's obviously bilingual as well, and Aida, but it is important to us.
Yeah, those are my two go-tos. I mean, when it comes to me scratching my head, it's like Aida and Hector, and I
one of the two can be helpful.
I tend to just to make sure, because even when I have a patient explain something in English, sometimes you're like, huh?
Yeah.
Can you tell me that one more time? I don't quite put the pieces. So then throw another
language in there. Woo!
Yeah, it can be a challenge, but it's been a fun opportunity, and I think that it's been. I've only heard really good things about feedback of patients saying, "Oh, I'm so glad that we were able to, communicate in that way." So
Yeah.
Well, you got somebody in who is connected to me, and it was his grandmother who only speaks Spanish, couldn't get back to, I think, Argentina or something. Venezuela because of COVID. And after the visit with you, I sent you what he texted me. He's like, "You have restored my faith in primary care and healthcare in general, and we felt loved and cared for, and we appreciate that you're here." And then he signed up his business. And so, I mean, those touches and that level of communication, I think, just makes a big difference to people. It's being heard. I mean, all of us want to be heard,
Yeah. That was a neat experience.
Yeah.
I said, "Well, how long have you been here?" "Well, it was only supposed to be this long, and then COVID happened, and I can't go back."
Stuck.
Aw.
Yeah. I know. Well, we've had people that have been stuck out of the country that we've been
that
able
we
to
had
help
to write letters of all kinds of stuff to
help
get them back.
It's been interesting. Well, we love having you with us, Leah. You've been a great addition to our team, and we feel really blessed and lucky to have you. I would say that we appreciate all the things that you do, like BNI and helping us network in the community.
Went and talked to a business, so that was cool that you did that.
Yeah,
That was fun.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
We do every week give a health tip, and so since you are a medical provider,
It's your turn.
It's your
on me.
turn. Yeah, it's on you.
Well, as I sit here, nervously drinking my water, that's what I'll talk about. That's an easy one. So, increasing water intake can be good for brain health. It can be good for your skin. General recommendations are between a half an ounce to an ounce per pound. And it's really good for overall health, and it's a pretty easy thing to do. A lot of people say they don't like water, so it's this slow transition. Sometimes you can add fruit or
Lemon.
like lemon or
even an orange or whatever, just something to give it a little bit of something.
To change it up. So that's my health tip, is to increase your water intake, especially as it gets hotter, so that we know that you're staying hydrated and you're focusing on your overall health.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for being with
Yes,
us today.
thanks,
Thank you
Leah.
for having
We
me.
love
It
you.
wasn't too painful.
Yay! I told you we would just be chatting.
And you're going to be on Morning Coffee with Elio.
Speaking Spanish, and
Yes.
I can't wait.
Yes.
I don't know what I said yes to.
It'll be awesome. You'll love it. So, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you being with us. We're so happy we got to know Leah a little bit more. I learned some things today I didn't know. We actually have the first degree the same. Yeah, that's so. I guess I forgot that.
And then Ava's coming through with that too.
I know. I love it. It's the best.
Health educators. Woo.
woo.
My mom has a master's.
She does.
Health education.
Oh, look at all this education running around here. Anyway, so thanks for watching. We want to thank Elio with Fiesta Media for being our producer. We want you to join us every Tuesday at 11 live on FaceTube, Facebook and YouTube.
FaceTube.
Well, I do that to my kids. I'm like, "Are you on InstaChat or Snapgram or what are you doing right now?" So anyway, thanks for watching. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.